Welcome to the Properties to Profit podcast. I'm Michael, your host. Excited to share with you my journey from a six-figure job to building a successful real estate business. Each episode will explore various aspects of real estate investing, from wholesaling and flipping to managing rentals. I'll share the lessons and insights I've gained, aiming to help you avoid mistakes and achieve your financial goals. Expect guest experts, valuable tips, and practical advice to guide you on your own real estate journey. Thank you for tuning in. If you find any value in this podcast, please subscribe, share, and follow me on social media. Let's turn properties into profits together. Hey guys, Michael here with Properties to Profits. And on today's Monday Mindset, I want to talk about the presidential election. And it's not what you think. When this releases, it's going to be November 4th, and the election's obviously on Tuesday. But I don't watch a lot of TV, but when I do turn on the TV or I'm walking through the gym, I just see two political parties bashing the other side. Doesn't matter what side you're on, you're seeing it both ways. So I really want to talk about the mindset of how I'm looking about this election and what I'm going to do going forward, right? Because I think a lot of people are kind of you have two very polarizing candidates and parties right now, I believe. And you have two extreme opposites. And I personally don't believe either of them is good for our country. And so I want to tell you how I'm handling this election, share my thoughts, and maybe it will help someone out there. If not, that's okay too. So what I have found is no matter who's in office, it really doesn't make that big of a difference to me. So first thing first, if your candidate doesn't win, man, it's probably not that big of a deal, because very rarely does the president go along and make one decision on their own. Like, the parties have to vote. And so the fact that one party is, one individual is the president of the country, that's great, but they're typically just the talking head of the whole thing. So I wouldn't let it be as big of a deal as you might think of it as, that whoever wins is going to change your life all that much. So what I have found, the only person that can change your life is you. If you focused on you as much as you let the anxiety and all these other emotions come into play when talking about the election, we'd be so much farther ahead. And something to think about, I don't know how much money is raised. I'm just going to Google that real quick. How much money is raised for a presidential election? Now, I want you guys to think about this, because it is a large sum of money, to the tune of, I believe, cash on hand. Kamala has over $118 million cash on hand right now. And Donald Trump has over $36 million on cash on hand. It doesn't tell me what the amount of money they've raised. But I'm so quick thing. Bloomberg posted a report a day ago is that this U.S. election cycle for 2024 cost the political groups $14.7 billion. So I want you guys to think about how big of a number that is, and how much better use we could use if we weren't all donating our money to line the politics pockets so they can just go pay for ads, right, and push their agenda through. What would happen if we used more of that money for welfare, or making sure people were fed, or housing, or something along those lines? That's $14.7 billion that just go into making sure each party's candidates are elected. And we both know there's always a loser, right? There's always a winner and there's always a loser. So there's a different way to look at this, right? And so I personally believe elections cost a lot of money, and I think there should be a better way around it. I think there should be a cap on how much money could be spent on an election. All these things. I think the smear campaign should be gone by the wayside, right? But I am a firm believer, for the most part, any vote that you make isn't going to make a difference. There's never been an election won or lost by one, right? And at the end of the day, when you're tough and down on your luck, the government's never taking care of you the way they are. They will dump so much money into all these other things, but they will never pour into you the way you can pour into you. So I encourage you, instead of worrying about this election, what party's going to win and stuff like that, instead of on election day watching who's going to win or lose and rooting for those parties, go focus on you. Go focus on your family. Go build a skill set that will actually make an impact. Because I promise you, your vote doesn't make that big of a difference. And whether you lose or not, you still can come out and win. I'm going to win in 2025, no matter who wins. I do not care. Will it be harder if one politic politician wins, sure. But the other politician, if they win, they're going to bring more difficult things too. So it really doesn't matter who wins. You're going to have difficult times. So when you guys go into this Monday before election, I want you to really take a step back and realize at the end of the day, it's probably not going to affect you whoever wins. What's going to actually affect you, make a difference in your world, is how you wake up and how you attack life. How do you go win the day? How do you go win your week? And how do you go win the last 2 months of the year so that your 2025 is different than 2024? Because I promise you, someone's going to have a different 2025 regardless of who wins this election. Doesn't matter. So are you going to be one of those people that have a good 2025 regardless of the outcome of the election? Or are you going to be one of those people who blame a presidential election on what you get out of life? Want you to ask those questions. Are you going to blame someone else for what you get out of life? Let that soak in, guys. So I encourage you on this Monday before one of the biggest presidential elections, if your candidate doesn't win, I want you to realize it doesn't matter. Go win for yourself. Go focus on you and go change your family's trajectory because you can do it. Hope you guys have a great Monday and hope you guys got something out of value of this. Follow me on Instagram, realestatemike02. Thank you for listening to the Properties for Profit podcast. I hope you found today's episode valuable. If you enjoy the show, please subscribe and share it with others who might benefit. Follow me on social media for more updates and tips. Until next time, keep turning properties into profits.